11 p.m. The blue light from my phone was the only thing keeping me company in my cramped studio apartment. I was doom scrolling, my thumb moving mechanically. Suddenly, the algorithm threw me a curveball. A burner account. No verification check mark. No name. Just a video. The woman in the clip didn't show her face. Just a messy bun, a grey hoodie, and a beat dropping hard. As the music hit, she lifted the hem of that oversized hoodie. Beneath it wasn't just skin. It was a set of toned, athletic abs that could grind cheese. And those legs, miles long, disappearing into the shadows. I sat up straight, nearly choking on my LaCroix. That wasn't some random influencer. That posture. That specific shade of grey manicure. That was Elena. My boss. The CEO. The Ice Queen of Sterling Corp. The woman who fires people for using the wrong font size in emails. The woman whose stare could freeze hell over. Turns out, underneath that Armani suit, she was human. And honestly, hot. Maybe it was the sleep deprivation. Maybe it was the resentment from her yelling at me in the boardroom 3 hours ago. But a wave of reckless bravery washed over me. It's a burner account, right? I'm ANON459. Who cares? My fingers flew across the keyboard. Gotta be filters. No way the Ice Queen smiles like that. Unless I get to verify it in person. Send. I felt like a legend. A digital warrior. For exactly 3 minutes. Ding. ADM notification. It sliced through the silence like a knife. It was from the burner account. 2 words. Address. Now. My phone slipped from my sweaty hands and smacked me in the face. I scrambled to reply, typing 3 question marks. She replied instantly. Don't make me call HR and pull your file, Liam. Unless you want your internship to end tonight. I typed out my address with trembling fingers. My life was over. This wasn't a booty call. This was an execution. Story starts here. If you want to know how I survived the night, hit that subscribe button. You won't want to miss this. Time dragged. I panic cleaned my apartment, shoving dirty laundry under the bed and throwing away empty pizza boxes. Just as I sat down, the buzzer rang. It sounded like a death knell. I opened the door. Standing there in the hallway was Elena. No power suit. No heels. Just a hoodie, a baseball cap, and sneakers. She looked softer, younger. But the look in her eyes was sharp enough to cut glass. She smelled like expensive sandalwood and rain. Ms. Vance. I stuttered. She didn't say a word. She just walked in. She scanned my tiny living room. Her eyes landing on my pale, terrified face. She smirked. You said it was filters, Liam. I'm here for the verification. Take a good look. I almost dropped to my knees. Elena, I mean, Ms. Vance, I was joking. It was a typo. I was hacked. She chuckled darkly. She tossed her cap onto my cheap IKEA sofa and walked toward me. I backed up until I hit the wall. She placed one hand on the wall beside my head. You talk big online, Liam. But in person? You're shaking. I closed my eyes, waiting for the axe to fall. Since you have so much free time to troll my account. She pulled a laptop out of her bag and shoved it into my chest. Fix this pitch deck. We have a board meeting at 8 a.m. If it's not perfect, don't bother coming in tomorrow. I hugged that laptop like a life raft. She wasn't killing me. She was just exploiting me for unpaid labor. Yes. Yes, ma'am. I'll do it. I'll make the graphs sing. She sat on my couch, looking like royalty on a throne. While I sat at my wobbly kitchen table, typing for my life. Outside, the city rain battered the window. Inside, it was just the sound of keys clacking. It was weirdly domestic. Around 2 a.m., I finished. I turned around to tell her, but she was asleep. Her head was tipped back against the cushion, mouth slightly open. The Iron Lady looked exhausted. Vulnerable. I tiptoed over, staring at her. Without the scowl, she was breathtaking. I reached out, hesitating, wanting to brush a stray hair from her face. Her eyes snapped open. Caught. There was a bug, I lied. In the middle of winter. She sat up, rubbing her temples. Done. Yes. Emailed to you. Good. I'm crashing here. Too tired to drive. What? I'll take the bed. You take the couch. Before I could protest, she walked into my bedroom and locked the door. Click. I stared at the closed door. That night, I dreamt she was firing me, then hiring me, then firing me again. The next morning, I woke up to the smell of coffee. Real coffee, not my instant trash. Elena was sitting at my table, eating a bagel. The morning sun hit her profile, making her glow. Eat. Then drive me to work. I scratched my head. Ms. Vance, my car is a Vespa. A scooter. 30 minutes later, the CEO of a Fortune 500 company was on the back of my scooter. Wearing my spare helmet. Which happened to be bright pink. She held onto my waist for dear life. If anyone sees me like this, Liam, you're dead. Yes, ma'am. But she didn't stop. The next few days, she kept showing up. My penthouse is flooding. Renovations. I hate hotels. She moved her luggage in. My tiny apartment became her hideout. And I was her driver, her chef, and her secret keeper. Then, disaster struck. My cousin Chloe. She goes to NYU and decided to crash at my place without calling. She barged in, dragging a suitcase. Surprise! Liam, guess who's here? She froze. Elena was on the couch, wearing my oversized t-shirt and a face mask. Chloe dropped her boba tea. Holy! Liam? You're shackling up with a supermodel. I tried to speak, but Elena peeled off the face mask. Hi. I'm Elena. Liam's girlfriend. I choked on air. Chloe screamed. Girlfriend? She's gorgeous. Liam, how did you use a love potion? Elena looked at me, a playful glint in her eyes. He's persistent. That night, sleeping arrangements were a problem. Chloe winked. I'll take the couch. You lovebirds take the room. Elena didn't hesitate. Works for me. I have insomnia without him. My face burned hotter than the sun. That night, in my full-sized bed, we lay side by side. Stiff as boards. Liam, she whispered in the dark. Yet. That comment you made. About verifying. My heart hammered. I was stupid. I'm sorry. No. She turned to face me. I could feel her warmth. Under the covers, her hand found mine. Her fingers interlaced with mine. What if I said? I didn't mind the comment. The wall between boss and intern crumbled. I squeezed her hand. Then I'd say, I'm never letting go. She laughed softly. Good. Because you signed a lifetime contract. Christmas came. I took Elena back home to the Midwest. Wisconsin. Snow everywhere. My parents were stunned. They thought I hired an actress. But Elena charmed them. She ate my mom's casserole and listened to my dad's fishing stories. On New Year's Eve, we walked through the snowy streets. Fireworks exploded overhead. She stopped, looking at the colors reflecting in the snow. Liam, she said, her voice shaking slightly. Growing up, my parents were always working. Or fighting. I never had this. She looked at me, tears in her eyes. They called me the Ice Queen because I had to be. To survive. I took her freezing hands and put them in my coat pocket. Well, I said softly. The ice is melting. And I'm not going anywhere. She stood on her tiptoes and kissed me. Right there in the snow. It wasn't a corporate takeover. It was a surrender. Back in the city, we kept it secret. Until the gala. Mr. Sterling, a sleazy investor, wouldn't leave her alone. He kept putting his hand on her shoulder. Offering her a drink she didn't want. Elena looked uncomfortable. I snapped. I walked right up to them. Excuse me, Mr. Sterling. I physically stepped between them, blocking his view of her. Elena isn't interested. She's here with her boyfriend. The room went silent. Sterling sneered. And who are you? The valet. I stood tall, putting my arm around Elena's waist. I'm Liam. Her assistant. And the man she loves. I grabbed the drink from his hand, downed it in one shot. And slammed the glass down. We're leaving. I pulled a stunned Elena out of the ballroom. In the Uber, silence. I was terrified. Had I just ruined the deal? Then, Elena started laughing. She laughed until she cried. Liam, she wiped her eyes. Yet. That was, incredibly hot. I grinned. Well, you picked me. She leaned her head on my shoulder. Best decision I ever made. This isn't just a story about an office romance. It's about finding warmth in the coldest places. So, tell me in the comments. If you were in my shoes, would you have kept hiding? Or would you have stood up to the billionaire bully? Don't forget to like and subscribe for more stories like this. See you in the next one.